You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Sternberg Museum of Natural History, also by The Dentist.
Fort Hays State University's Sternberg Museum of Natural History invites you to experience Bringing Fossils to Life, their newest permanent exhibit under the dome. Meet a giant mosasaur and its living little relative, the Australian water monitor. Learn about evolutionary stasis with giant tortoises and discover the many ways fish made their way onto land with mud skippers. Experience all this and more at Fort Hays State University's Sternberg Museum of Natural History in Hays, Kansas.
Discovery under the dome.
Come discover a one-of-a-kind dental center for the whole family at The Dentist. Dr. Melinda Miner and Dr. Michael Holmberg and their warm and friendly staff love working with children of all ages to help keep everyone smile happy and healthy. They recommend children start seeing the dentist by age 1. The Dentist is now accepting new patients, children, and their families. Visit them at 1010 Downing Avenue in Hays or online at thedentistinhays.com.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of Early Childhood Grants for USD 489. And with me today is Katie Mai. Good morning, Katie.
Hi, Dana.
Now, first of all, Katie, tell us what organization you work for and what do you do there?
I work for the Hays Area Children's Center, and I am the speech-language pathologist for our Early Intervention Birth to 3 program.
Okay. Now, today you're here to tell us about some opportunities to, some classes that you're doing.
Yeah.
So tell us about those classes.
Sure. We are, for the first time this year, offering American Heart Association CPR, First Aid, and AED training. And it's kind of exciting how we got into it, actually. Kansas Child Care Training Opportunities contacted us and asked if we would be willing to get some trainers put together to teach child care providers in the area CPR, first aid, and AED training.
So you said yes, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
Now, is this CPR for adults, children? I know there's differences. So would these classes be good for all of those groups?
Yes.
Okay.
We are actually teaching adult, child, and infant CPR training. We are going to specialize in the daycare provider, what they would need, and they're more interested in children and infants because they're going to be taking care of them in their homes or in their buildings. But we are also going to teach adult because it's just important to know how to rescue everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I guess that kind of leads me to my next question. What would make this CPR class different than maybe another one when you would take in the community?
Sure. It's actually going to be very similar. You're going to get a 2-year certification, and it is through the American Heart Association, and there are a bunch of different organizations that would teach CPR. American Red Cross is one. That's pretty familiar to us. And it goes, but What's different about our classes is that it is geared toward daycare providers.
Okay.
We're not going to teach any different information that we would teach the general public, but we are going to be sure to focus on the child and infant skills and strategies for life-saving techniques, including choking, any type of incident that might happen, a drowning perhaps. And so that's what's going to set it apart from other classes.
It's only for child care providers?
This particular
One
course
is.
is.
All right.
It is going to be for members of the community or surrounding areas that need certification for their job or for early education credits that they need to keep up their license. But our class can be taught to other people in the community if we have space available.
Okay. So why are you offering these classes? You talked a little bit about the grant.
Yes. The CASITO, Kansas Child Care Training Opportunities, got a grant this year, and they reached out to child care providers in the state and asked if anybody would be interested in teaching the classes. And so it's a great opportunity. They provided the funding to train all of the volunteers to teach the CPR class, and they're providing materials and
that's nice.
And other training opportunities to keep us up to date.
Yes. Now, I know we've already said this, but once again, who can enroll?
Well, as for our first class, we're asking that it's daycare providers in the community, whether you're in a organization, whether you're in a home-based setting, daycare providers. Now, if we don't fill up our class, then we can open it up to other members of the community who are just interested in getting a certification or who need it for their jobs.
Yes. Now, say there's someone out here who's like, wow, I really need to sign up for this class. What are some of the details? What do you need to know about enrolling?
Sure. Well, our first class is coming up quickly. It's Saturday, September 17th. We're offering it 8:30 to 3:30 with a 1-hour lunch. And to sign up for that class, you would want to call the Children's Center.
Okay.
And our number is 625-3257. Or they could email Raina. She is our new Human Resources connection. She is RAYNA@hacc.info.
Okay, so we'll make sure we'll put that information on the bottom of the screen. So is there a limit to how many people can be in the class?
Yes, we can teach 9 people as
Okay.
it is right now. And the reason we're doing 9 is because we want to make sure that we have a 1-to-1 ratio of participants
with the
mannequin.
mannequins, yeah.
And it's not going to necessarily make the class any shorter, but it does provide you with as much
Hands-on experience, yeah.
with the mannequin.
Now, is the class only happening one time?
No, we are going to actually offer at least 4 classes this school year. So we're looking at another one this semester before we break for winter break, and then we're going to do 2 more in the spring semester.
All right, so if you can't make the one in September, you can call, get the date for the one this semester and the ones in the spring.
Absolutely, and those dates haven't been set yet.
Okay.
We're working on getting those put into our calendar.
Okay, well, that is wonderful information. I encourage everybody, if you haven't taken a class, it's very important. Obviously, child care providers are mandated to have that, but it's wonderful for everybody to have that very important information.
It is.
Yes.
It is. And a lot of people, I think, are scared to take CPR because they don't want to feel like, oh, now
I'm responsible.
Right,
I have to. Yeah.
Right. Now, but I do encourage you to look into state laws because there are Good Samaritan laws that protect you. So as long as you are doing things within your common sense and within your training, then
You're fine.
You're fine.
And you could save a life.
You really could. And they actually encourage you, if you're not comfortable doing CPR with the mouth-to-mouth, and a lot of people aren't, especially if you come upon a stranger and you don't have a mask, that as long as you're giving compressions, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful information. Thank you so much, Katie.
Yes, thank you, Dana.
You've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Sternberg Museum of Natural History, also by The Dentist.